Nuclear waste sits idle in 121 communities across 39 states. It's imperative that we pass the Nuclear Waste Policy Amendments Act to reform our country's nuclear waste policy and utilize Yucca Mountain as our main point of nuclear storage.
Now, Yucca Mountain is where, by law, we're supposed to be receiving long-term repository. Here's the mountain. In a desert, the waste would be stored 1,000 feet underground and 1,000 feet above the water table. The nuclear era started in World War II. It was started to beat Hitler, to make sure they didn't win World War II. Then we had the arms race with the Soviet Union. It has helped protect our freedom and liberty. There was a price to pay. Environmental degradations across this country. We owe it to these communities and to ourselves to safely gather and store and protect the environment and protect our citizens.
And it's no secret that I'm passionate about energy independence and nuclear energy as an essential emissions-free domestic source of electricity. Without a permanent geological repository, nuclear waste will continue to pile up at reactors in South Carolina and all across the nation.
You have waste stored above ground, in pools and in casts, in the Mississippi floodplain, on the Mississippi River, 50 miles from Minneapolis, St. Paul.
With the impending decommissioning of Diablo Canyon, it is vital that we act to find a storage solution.
In 1982, Congress agreed and made it clear they wanted the federal government to oversee and manage the storage of spent fuel.
Ratepayers in 39 states continue to pay towards the cleanup fund for a total of nearly $40 billion.
And what that means is that the federal government has a duty to these communities to clean this waste up. And this waste has to go somewhere.
If we don't have a repository, these nuclear wastes in their various forms will sit around in various locations, not nearly as safe or secured as we can have with the kind of legislation fully enacted that Mr. Shimkus has led on.
This issue has national support. Here's the Washington Post. Put Yucca Mountain to work. The nation needs it. San Diego Union Tribune. Revival of Yucca Mountain nuclear waste project overdue. Here's Aiken Standard. Fed should proceed with Yucca Mountain. Here is the reason. Open the Yucca Mountain nuclear waste repository. Here's the Los Angeles Times. The federal government needs to renew its efforts to bring the Yucca Mountain site into operation. Chicago Tribune. Yucca Mountain is the only viable alternative to the jury-rigged status quo. We hope the Trump administration and Congress will revive it, because if they don't, well, you can read it. In fact, in this picture, this green area, these are all the counties around the federal land site that have passed resolutions in support of moving forward.
So, Mr. Shimkus, thank you for your leadership on this, and to my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, thanks for your encouragement, your participation, your counsel. We're going to get this thing done.